Hi everyone, it's me, Andrea, and I am here to kick off the Creative Design Team's Christmas in July 2022 projects. I've created a project for you today, and so has Jama, and she'll be sharing that over on her YouTube channel. We will be followed throughout the week by the rest of the very talented ladies at the Creative Design Team, and we will compile everybody's projects in a great big playlist, which we'll find down in this video's description or at the end of my video in the end screen. Now, be sure to stay tuned as I talk to you today about my project, because I have a little surprise hidden among the project instructions. So what do you say? Let's get started. I brought in my new close to my heart die cutting machine. And I'm just going to get this all set up. Right in here I have the handle. Close that up, push these in, and there's like this locking mechanism right here. I'm just going to pull that down, put the handle on, and let go. And now my handle is secure, and this is bolted to my table. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of a product that is one of our thin cuts for the new catalog coming up. It's the stitched card front and background, and this will be available all year long when it launches on August 1st. And it's pretty cool. It has two pieces. This will make it a true card size, but I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to use this as a background. So I took some of my Shortbread cardstock. I'm going to use that on the lighter side. And you want to cut against this mat. What I found is that with these larger dies, if I move my paper just a bit, so that it's a bit diagonal, the cutting side of my thin cut is now facing down, and then I put this on top. I think I probably could flip this. That's probably the way that this is designed to be used, but I found that by going through in this manner, I have a much better time with the die cut. So I just roll it through a few times. It was such an intricate die cut that I found that if I did this, it gave me a much better cut. I hope that makes sense. So I have done this already 5 times, and this is my 6th. Figured I would need 6 to do the page that I want to do, to make this into a layout. So let's just take a peek and see how this all turns out. I'm just going to set this aside for a moment, and let's hope for some good luck. And here we are. Look at that. All the little pieces fell out, and then I will just use a tool to poke the rest of these out, or you could just use your finger and tap it a bit. I'll get this all cleaned up, and we'll come back and put together our layout. Aren't these thin cut die pieces just stunning? I can't wait to make them in a variety of colors, but again, I'm using the lighter color of Shortbread. Now I have my Versamat here, and I put just a little adhesive, dry adhesive, down on the Versamat, and I just stuck a piece of French vanilla cardstock right on top, so this won't slide quite so much. Now I'm just going to take a quick look right here, and we are 5 inches wide, and we are just shy of 4, or about 3 3/4. So I'm just going to come up here around the 6-inch mark. Now I'm just going to look and see. I need to put this probably about here to be center. So I'm going to start with this piece right here. So I'm at about 4 1/8, and I end at 7 7/8. If I line this all up, this should be pretty square. And I'm just going to continue to go ahead around the edges. Don't really need to worry too much about the middle. I'm just going to go around the edges of all of these, and I'm going to put down some glue. As I continue to get all of these panels down, just want to talk to you about that secret that I promised you that I would reveal at the beginning of the video. Well, let's talk a moment about our Creative Design Team Creatives membership subscription group that we have over on Facebook. If you enjoy our classes here on YouTube, our collaborations, you will really want to hear about what we do over on our closed Facebook group. We not only have classes, we have projects to inspire you. We have projects that will help you use up your Close to My Heart supplies, as well as feature some new supplies. And we are just all about taking your creativity and your skill set to the very next level. We want to make your crafting the best that your crafting can be. And we will only be opening up registration for our subscription group for a very short time. It's going to be open only while our videos are live, and we are posting them through July 17th. So after July 17th, we will be closing the doors to our subscription group once again for quite a while, so you won't want to miss out. Check the link down below for information about how to sign up. There we are. We have all 6 of our panels laid down, glued down. My fingers are a little sticky, so I'm hitting that, picking up as I'm going, but they do seem to be tacked down enough. If you get to this point and any of them are rising up, you can go ahead and just put a little more liquid glue down. I'm using our green mono glue here. And then this is the star of the show, I think. It's a pretty simple layout. I don't know. Do any of you guys have teenage boys? If you have teenage boys, you might know that they hate being photographed. Eddie, my son, hates being photographed. And so when I get something like this, a photo where I can snap him and he doesn't know I've done it, it is a win in this mom's book. So I'm just going to start laying out the elements. I have this piece, and you'll notice that I picked up the shortbread because I really thought it went with, it was in neutral, but it went with the piece of furniture that he is laying on. I went into our Comfort and Joy Cricut collection. Now, after I did this, I realized that there's a little glitch at the moment with the Cricut collections. Usually you'd click through my affiliate link and be able to pull this up. I apologize if it's not available at the moment that you view this video for purchase. But if it's not, don't fear. We do have plenty of images out there that you can go ahead and use. So I've cut these out of some evergreen paper, some sage, because I wanted to pick up the sweatshirt that he was, you know, getting all comfy in, some Scarlet, Glacier, and some more French vanilla to match the background page. And I also cut out a little banner. This was supposed to be a tiny banner that went over the ornament, but I made it much bigger. Just looking to see which side I would like. I think I'll put the darker side up. And I not only cut out the word Mary that came off of the layout in that collection, I then offset it in black because I wanted this to have a double pop, so to speak. So this is the arrangement that I think I like for this layout. Maybe I'll just pull this over a bit. Yeah, right about there. And I don't know, should we... Sometimes I like to put the pictures a little diagonal. This time I'm not so sure. But this will be our layout. Now, let's go ahead and do just a little bit of a special treatment here to our ornament. So I'm just going to set this aside for a moment while I pull in my all-purpose mat. Love this product by Close to My Heart. It's grippy on one side, and you can see mine desperately needs a little bit of a cleanup. Now, this ornament has a black layer, the French vanilla, and then it also has this beautiful Glacier layer on it. And so I decided to pull in a brand new color to us of Distress Oxide ink. This is called Salvaged Patina, and it will be available to purchase from us on the 1st of August, which is actually coming up pretty soon. So I'm just going to pick some of this color up, and I'm just going to ink the edges just a bit. I wanted the ornament to feel like it was going to pop. So I'm just taking a makeup brush here and going around the edges. And then down on this side, I'm going to give it just a little more color. Just want it to have a little dimension, like so. A little bit of shadowing, something a little bit interesting. So I'm doing it subtly. I hope that you can see what that looks like. We'll set this aside because I pick this up, and I hope that you can notice it's got a little bit of an edge all around now, but more shadowing down here. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm also going to pull in one of our Spectrum Noir metallic markers. This is silver. And I was going to actually try to see what would happen if I painted up here. Boy, I have these little pieces from the die cut up here. They look like pieces of orzo, and they are absolutely everywhere on my crafting desk at the moment. I tried to capture most of them in a box like this, but some of them just got static clinged around. I'm just going to go in. I just wanted to, you know, color the silver. And those little orzo bits are just getting in the way here and there. I probably should have colored this before I put the Glacier layer down. But hindsight is 20/20. And it's subtle, but I kind of like the way it looks. Now, if I wanted, I could do something like this. And just give the ornament a little bit more flair. It's going to make it come to life a little bit by just painting it up. And I'm also going to just give it just a little bit up here. And then at that point, I'm going to stop because sometimes less is more. So here we go. That's done. And we're going to pull back in our project, our larger project here, and we're going to arrange it. So it's going to be pretty simple. If you wanted, you could put a little more ink down here. I could just put what's left on my brush and go ahead, and I think we're going to do that. We'll just put a little bit. We're going to go very gently. I'm going to rub very gently here. I just want to give that French vanilla a little bit of an icy feel. There was a lot of blue in the Christmas tree at my mom and dad's house, and I was really going to go for something bold to match that blue, a sapphire or such, but I kind of wanted just a more soft, muted tone. I felt like I had already accomplished something bold and bright by making some of these accents black to kind of go with my son's pants here. And I think I achieved that. So let's go ahead. We'll start adhering pieces down at this point. Layouts don't have to be anything that are super complicated. They can be, you know, make them out of things you have. Look at the card fronts that you have from Close to My Heart. You know, we have a beautiful wood grain slimline card coming out, card front thin cut coming out. But I really think that if you look at things in a different light, you might be able to see that you can use them in multiple ways, such as putting them on layouts. So I'm just going to adhere this down. You might be noticing I don't have my dry tape runner down here with me at my filming studio. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to, I don't know if I want the banner like that. I think I'm actually going to put the banner a little crooked. And I'm going to keep the photo. Actually, you know what? I want to pop up that banner. I'm sorry for changing midway, but I really think that it will look better if it just has a piece of foam tape. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put the banner like such and have the words kind of straight. And as far as the picture goes, we're just going to tack that down just a bit. I'm not going to put any foam tape on this. I really want this to lay down flat on the page. I'm just going to tuck his little feet behind there. Just pop it around on me here. Make sure it's straight by looking at your Versamat. You could probably see where it's lining up with all of your thin cuts. Then we have our little ornament that we made, and I kind of like that blue, that subtle blue that's running right through here that we put down with our brush. And I've already put foam tape on the back of the ornament, as you can see right here. Had that out of focus for a little bit. I'm sorry about that. One more piece of foam tape that we can go ahead and put right about here. Now there's a little hook that cuts out when you cut out this ornament, and I do want to loop this through here. I'm just going to glue this down a bit. I have some foam tape right here that I put on the back of the holly leaves in the berry. So I'm just going to pull that off. And I think that will most likely anchor our cluster just enough that I will be happy with it. So we'll put that down there. There we go. So we'll close that up. Now, if you were doing this layout for a girl, you'd come back and maybe put some glitter on here. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just see if I can just give these little berries an outline too. Very soft and subtle. That'll give them a little dimension. So using a pen like this is always just a fun little technique to add a little more interest. And maybe a few sequins or such would look really good right here. Just gonna look and see what I actually have. I think my loose julep sequins, they're a retired product. They will match perfectly with the sage cardstock that I brought in on this layout. I'm going to adhere down a bunch of these julep colored sequins. They come in many different shades of julep, but they'll work well up and down the left-hand side of this page. And although I'm starting with 3, you're going to see that I'm going to continue adding sequins up and down the page in an odd number arrangement. How many of you guys know that odd numbers are more appealing to our eyes? And how many of you actually practice that in your own layouts? I'd love to know. Let me know down below in the video's comments. You might also notice as I put up the final artwork that I have backed the photo with a black photo mat. I just thought it pulled everything together a little bit better. Here you go, looking at that. And I just love the way this turned out. It's sometimes hard to scrapbook teen boys, but I think this worked really well. If you've not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button and check out the video playlist for all of our Christmas in July videos. Thanks for watching and have a creative day.